All right, guys, so the half kneeling setup. Half kneeling is one leg's down, one leg is up. A couple things to consider in terms of setup here. First off, the head and shoulders, we want them stacked right over the hip and the knee. In other words, we don't want to be hanging on the front of the hip, and we also don't want to be kicking that hip back like so. So one way to ensure that we're doing that well is we take a dowel and we make sure that we got 3 points of contact with the dowel. Right at the head, right between the shoulder blades, and right between the butt cheeks. Another helpful tool here is to just go back and forth and exaggerate both ends and then find that middle ground. Okay? One of the things that we're usually doing when we're in this position is we're challenging your balance. So many times we'll have people go from this position all the way to this position and then go back and forth and find the point at which they start to demonstrate balance reactions. That's when you know you're in the right position. Okay? The other thing to consider is the position of this back leg. We want to make sure that the back leg is straight forward and back, and it's not cocked out to the side, nor is it cocked out to the side that way either. Okay? Now from the front view, we want to make sure that the pelvis is level, or the belt line is level. In other words, I don't want to be completely dumped and hanging on the lateral or outside tension of this hip, and I don't want to overly hike this hip either. Again, it's helpful to go back and forth between the extremes and then find somewhere in the middle where the belt line is level. Again, right when you start to demonstrate these little subtle balance reactions, that's when you know you're in the right place. The last thing to consider here is your base of support, how narrow or wide it is. The wider the base of support, the easier it's going to be to balance, and the narrower your base of support, the harder it's going to be to balance. Again, we're trying to challenge your motor control and your balance between your hip and core stabilizers in this position. We can do a lot of different activities here, but the point is to stay at the edge of your ability. So you can see in this position as I'm talking, I'm demonstrating a lot of these balance reactions, and that's how I know I'm in a good place. Now, if I was to be falling over and completely flailing, this wouldn't be appropriate for me. I would have to widen my base of support until I actually have some sense of control. This is a little too easy for me, so I'm going to narrow it a little bit more until, again, I start to go and demonstrate some of these postural reactions or these balance reactions, and this is where my sweet spot is. Okay?